So I took my tiny mic to the Northwest Flower and Garden Show in Seattle to do on the spot, on the floor interviews with the top vendors of houseplants and garden plants, asking them the trends that they're seeing, the plants that are flying off their shelves, and their best care advice as experts for you, the audience. So let's see what they have to say. Andy of Andy's Orchids, what's the hottest orchid selling this year?
This year it's Neophanita falcata, which is this one. This is a triple stick plant, so it's got 3 different plants on there, all the same species. This species is wonderful. It hails from Japan. It blooms with these beautiful white flowers that are super, super fragrant. They have a long nectary on it, so they're moth pollinated in nature. But it's a heavily fragrance. It has a fragrance of jasmine, and it's one that I typically, when it flowers, it has such a mass quantity of blooms on it. I'll bring it into the bedroom and hang them, over the bed. Sets up that nice romantic sensation for.
Well, last year I got the coconut orchid. Maybe this year I need to get this one. Keep adding to my fragrant orchid collection.
These are amazing. And they're very easy to grow and flower. They typically flower in June, July. In different environments, they can be rather free flowering throughout the year. But it is a wonderful one. It's highly cultivated in Japan. There are many different cultivars. They come in many different colors. Some are variegated leaves and all this different types that I have behind you here. And but all these are, select special clones of Neophanitas, and there are literally thousands of them.
Wow. All right, give me that name one more time.
This is Neophanita falcata, and it's from Japan, and just a wonderful, wonderful species.
Thanks, Andy.
Sure.
All right, so what's your name and business?
My name is Molly Malecki. My business is Rancho Cacto Nursery in Aurora, Oregon. We grow cacti and succulents and other specialty drought-tolerant plants.
So you grow them and then you sell them?
Yes, we do.
Might I say, you are adorable. You're wearing for the listeners, you're wearing a cowboy hat, neckerchief, jean, like you are Rancho. You are your brand. I appreciate that.
Thank you. This is me every day when I can wear my nice clothes. Usually it's work boots and in the greenhouse overalls. And covered in dirt. So, yeah.
What's the hottest plant that everybody is trying to go home with today?
Ooh, I got to go to South Africa this fall to see things in habitat for the first time. So I brought a lot of specialty miniature succulents from that part of the world, like some little Tylocodon and Crassula deceptor, which is just ghostly white. And so these are the things that have been really popular here in this booth.
So these are small, diminutive succulents that kind of have interesting shapes that aren't just the normal stuff that you see on the normal grocery store checkout line.
This is like you've graduated to like collector level and you want something super special and not hard to grow, but harder to find. So
got it. What is one tip you could give my audience for growing cacti and succulents?
You've got to get them in as much light as possible. That's how I ended up with needing a greenhouse, basically. And that's your trip down the line as you get deeper and deeper. But get them in your brightest, sunniest spot. Keep them really dry in the winter generally, and you should have success. They thrive on neglect. So it's a great plant. Anybody can get into this, even somebody who's never grown plants before.
I love it. Well, I love it, and I love you. Congratulations, and I hope you sell all your plants this weekend.
Thank you so very much, and thanks for having us here at the show.
What's your name and what's the name of your business?
My name's Cheyenne Duval, and I own Shady Plant Lady.
And how did you come up with that very cute and kind of punny name?
It's definitely just a play on my first and last name. My nickname used to be Chey, so it seemed like a perfect fit.
I love it.
Thank you.
How did you get into plants?
Totally on accident. I actually worked on a local produce farm about 10 years ago. That was my introduction to gardening. And then, of course, I had grandmothers that were super into plants and gardening when I was growing up.
And now you specialize in rare, hard-to-find houseplants, yeah?
Yeah, that is exactly what I do. And then I run a waste reduction initiative. And my first plant loves were actually succulents and cacti. So when I first opened up, I was doing all sorts of weird, funky hybrids and cacti from South Korea for the most part.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool. And what is the enormous plant that we are standing next to here?
This is Anthurium dock block by Luxurians.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Phenomenal hybrid, super rigorous, and it just a beauty to look at.
Can you describe Northwest Flower and Garden Show for me in 3 words?
Oh, busy, beautiful, and overwhelming in the best kind of way, though.
You're not the first person to say overwhelming. Yeah. It is wild literally and figuratively wild over here. What are you selling out? What is flying off your shelves here?
My rescue plants are obviously always the fastest selling thing.
So tell me about these rescue boxes.
The Plant Rescue Box program is a waste reduction initiative. So I work with different growers around the world in order to buy off their imperfect stock, their overstock, if they need to clear bench space for new product and stuff. And this is all just to avoid them being composted or thrown away so that we're reducing the carbon footprint of the horticulture industry.
Do you have any tips on resuscitating a rescue plant?
Oh yeah, you just kind of want to pay attention to it, and plants will move and behave differently depending on how they're feeling. But if you really want to nurture and revive something, you want to pay attention to the root system. You want to make sure it has an ideal environment for the plant itself, and you just want to be very careful. You got to babysit it a little bit, but
Do you suggest like growing it under glass or putting it in a plastic bag or something?
you can. It kind of depends on what plant. Most plants are going to be perfectly suitable for an average household environment, so you don't need to do anything super special unless it is more of like a niche, rare, picky, finicky plant.
Love it. Are you seeing any interesting trends on the floor with all the vendors here?
I'm seeing there's a lot of interest in the anthurium. There's a lot of interest in the aeroids in general. Lots of aeroids here, but a lot more interest in ferns I've seen this year. That's been a really cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Good luck, everyone, with the ferns.
Yeah.
Okay, where can everyone find you? And also, do you sell online?
Yeah, I'm primarily an e-commerce based business, but I pop up and do local shows. And I'm at booth 2544.
Amazing. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So, what nursery are you guys?
This is Gardenia Gardens and Design from California, close to Napa.
Very nice. And what has been the hottest plant that has been flying off your shelves here?
The hottest plant that a lot of people are looking at, even old, young, teenagers, is this Conophytum, a monkey face. And this is in the family of mesums, and it's like lithops, but I like this better. It's easier to take care of than the lithops. The same watering instructions. You don't water them that much. Usually they're dormant in the summer. They're alive in the fall, winter, and spring, and they have beautiful yellow flowers. So this will be full of flowers. You can even see the plant itself. But in the summer, you don't water it that much because they're dormant.
And why do you think it's been so popular this year?
Because it's different. It's like looks like an alien. And then compared to other plants, they don't see this much on like when you go to Home Depot or Lowe's. So this is like a specialty plant.
So, well, you have a lot of succulents and cacti at Gardenia Gardens. So, what's the best piece of succulent and cacti care advice that you could
Okay.
give our audience?
Okay, I've killed many, so I've learned from that. So for succulents and cacti, if you don't have enough light and you water it too much, that's how it kills the succulent or the cacti. So they try for neglect.
And what kind of potting mix do you put them in?
I do succulent soil, and then I mix some pumice in there, and sometimes I do some pumice, and I put those tiny lava rocks in there, and then I go to this place in California where they specialize in this cactus soil. I don't get. You can get the soil from Home Depot or Lowe's. Just kind of mix it up with more pumice so they have more grit and more drainage for the succulent. And make sure your pot has a hole at the bottom.
Yes, always holes at the bottom. So let me hear the name of that of this plant one more time because I keep forgetting.
This is Conophytum, and it's monkey face.
Monkey face, and it is totally alien-like looking. So thank you so much for the hot inside scoop.
And thank you, Maria.
All right, what's your name and what's your company?
Justin Hancock, Costa Farms.
Can you describe Northwest Flower and Garden Show for me into 3 words?
Amazing plant people.
Oh, I love that. Amazing plant people. Okay, Justin, what is your most controversial plant take?
Chunky soil.
What about it?
It's not for everybody.
It's not, is it for you?
It is not for me.
Okay, it's not for you. Why not?
I am not that much of a waterer, and so chunky soil dries out way faster.
Okay.
If I buy a plant in chunky soil from one of the plant shops, I have to repot it because it's not going to make it.
Yeah, me too, actually. Okay. What's the plant you kill the most?
The plant I kill the most, Hoya.
Hoya, interestingly. And what's the plant that like survives the most in your what's the plant that thrives in your care the most?
ZZ.
Okay. What are the trends that you're noticing on the floor at Northwest Flower and Garden Show?
I haven't paid attention to trends. I've been running around so much.
Okay, well, you work for a plant seller. So what are the trends that you're seeing from your Costa customers?
Statement plants. Everybody wants something that's going to grow big, eye-catching, dramatic. Variegation is still king, especially white, silver, and pink. Climbing, trailing habits.
Okay.
Fenestration.
Fenestration. You have a lot of new variegated, like Monstera, variegated other things. You think Monstera, you think just Monstera deliciosa, but you've got like freaky variegations going on. Like what? Give us a sneak peek.
Monstera leclerana, albo variegata is a really cool one. It's going to grow up to look like a variegated Monstera adansonii. I have a big soft spot for that right now. Monstera cobra, Monstera stanleyana, albo variegata. It doesn't fenestrate. It has those leaves, but the leaves can get like a foot long in time. So really, really dramatic with those white streaks.
Oh, I love that. 2 more questions.
Okay.
What's the best plant advice you've ever been given? And you're a horticulturist, so this can be what you learned in school.
You fail, and it's okay to fail.
You are not the first person to say that. That has been a very popular answer. And then what's your best piece of plant advice for my audience?
Right plant, right place. Know your environment, and don't try to grow, a highlight plant in a low light spot because you really want it. You're not going to have a good experience. It's not going to have a good experience.
Agreed. Well, where can everyone find you and Costa?
CostaFarms.com.
Amazing. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Okay, Gabrielle, what's your name and your business?
I'm Gabrielle. I'm with the Lily Pad Bulb Farm. We're out of Oregon.
And are you only growing bulbs? What do you sell?
Yeah, we grow lily bulbs and bare root peonies and daylilies and iris and anything pretty.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So could you describe Northwest Flower and Garden Show for me in 3 words?
Lots of plants.
Lots of plants. That's
Yeah.
perfect. I love that. What has been the most popular thing that you've been selling? What's flying off your shelves?
Yeah, I think peonies have been doing well here. It's been kind of a cold winter, and peonies love cold. So.
Everybody loves peonies. Any specific type of variety?
Yeah, we have one called Silver Dawn. It's a bush peony. It's a very nice peachy color, and that's basically out already. Yeah.
So gorgeous. For my listeners who are interested in growing bulbs, do you have any tips for how to grow bulbs successfully?
Don't fuss over them. Bulbs are incredibly just easy to grow. As long as you plant them correctly and establish them well, just don't fuss over them. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Are you seeing any trends on the floor this year? Anything that you're noticing a lot of?
Well, this year it seems like there's a lot more indoor plants, house plants, that kind of thing. So I'm thinking maybe that's a trend of people want plants inside their homes and not just in the garden, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, you're awesome. I might be going home with some bulbs. Where can everyone find you? Can people order online?
Yes, we're online, lilypadbulbs.com, and we're here at 2426. Yeah, that's our booth number.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So what's the hottest, newest plant at the garden show for you?
So we've introduced a lot of cool plants, but I have never had a plant that's so exciting to so many people as the purple tomato.
Okay, tell me more.
So the purple tomato it's been genetically modified to be very high in anthocyanins, equivalent to a blueberry. And so it's developed by Norfolk Healthy Produce in Davis, California. And so it was specific. So they used the genes from a purple snapdragon flower inserted into the tomato's genome to create this beautiful purple tomato.
That's wild. Can I taste it?
Yeah, absolutely.
The juice looks like it could stain my fingers.
I was skeptical at first when I first met them, but it's a fabulous tasting tomato too.
Oh my God.
And usually purple tomatoes are like, it's a little cardboardish.
It's so sweet, but it's so tangy.
Yeah.
The juice, but it looks like a blueberry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
And so they've got, it's great health-wise. It has as many anthocyanins as blueberries.
Yeah, like it looks like it's going to be really healthy. Okay, I can't wait to grow one.
Yeah, all right. I'll send you one.
Yay! All right, so what's your name and business?
My name is Ann Long, and I am the owner of the Dahlia House.
The Dahlia House. Oh my God, I love dahlias so much.
Me too. They actually, my business got its name because I grow in between the sidewalk and our street. We have a corner lot, and all my neighbors called me the Dahlia House. They're like, "Oh, are you the Dahlia House?" And I'm like, it's like the biggest honor to be known as the Dahlia House. So yeah, that's who we are. I love them so much. Dahlias were basically my gateway drug to all of what's happening here now.
Houseplants were my gateway drug to falling in love with all types of gardening.
Yeah.
So describe Northwest Flower and Garden Show in 3 words.
I would say flower ADD awesomeness.
I love that. Everybody's answers have been so perfect here. What's like the hottest bulb or corm that you're selling here at the show this week?
I would say sufmato.
Tell me about sufmato. What type of flower is it?
It's a ranunculus.
Okay.
There are several different kinds of ranunculus. These are actually, they're all from Italy. They're from a family that is very tight on their breeding rights and has allowed me to sell them. I can't propagate them, but they're amazingly hardy. They're perennial here. And yeah, they're amazing.
Yellow, pink. They're like all sorts of different colors.
It's the best mix ever. I have them all over my Instagram, and people just go crazy. We sell probably twice as much of this as we do everything else.
Whoa. Okay. The sfumato
There we go.
ranunculus.
Yeah.
What are any trends that you're seeing on the floor here?
I would say hanging jasmine is the plant of the hour or the plant of the week. And I am definitely going to bring some home as well. Christensen's carries it. My neighbor Arrow's Aim carries it. It's everywhere, and it like the whole show smells like jasmine.
It's either jasmine or lavender from the lavender booth.
Right. Or some hyacinth. There's a lot of hyacinth when you walk in, which also smells
Which
amazing.
also hits you.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Every year I look forward to the smell of the show.
100%. And it's very mulch forward in the front as well.
It's quite mulch forward, but the hyacinth are more powerful than the compost mulch that they've got going on.
100%. And last question, what's like the best tip that you could give my audience for growing dahlias or ranunculus? Maybe let's do ranunculus because that's what we just talked about.
Yes, and they're pretty different in the way that you would grow them, but I would say a lot of people want to start them out on like seed mats, like warm, and they are a spring flower. So they actually, if you treat them like sweet peas, start them cool, and you'll get much better results. They want to wake up around like 50 to 60 degrees. So
Start them cool, like put them in a refrigerator or put them in your basement?
that's a great question. Well, when it's outside, when the daytime temps are around 50 to 60, it's a great time to plant them. You just soak them for like 6 hours or overnight or whatever, and they plump up, and then you can go put them in your yard. Or you can, if you're in a place where like that window of temperature, the 50 to 80 degrees is short, you can start them inside. I've got a bunch of growing guides on my website, so you can read all about it. But basically, it's something called pre-sprouting, where you start them inside, put them in like your basement or any place around your house that's a little bit more chilly, and they are so good to go. They'll wake up right away.
Loving it? Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned your website. Where can everyone find you?
TheDahliaHouse.com.
Perfect. There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My name's Cameron. I'm from Urban Jungle Plant Shop. We're based in Belltown, Seattle. It's downtown.
Okay. What do you specialize in?
We do all indoor houseplants. So tropical things, cacti, just kind of all the things you would find inside.
Very cool. If you could describe Northwest Flower and Garden Show in 3 words, what would you do?
I would say spring plant joy.
Spring plant joy. My brand is Growing Joy, so I love that. Spring plant joy.
Yeah, it's like this is kind of, I feel like the time of the year when it's sort of starting to click. You're starting to see some of the early signs of tulips popping up, things starting to come out of the winter freeze. You know, we always joke about the Seattle freeze, but it's sort of like people coming out of their shell a little bit and getting out and mingling and enjoying the longer days and the sunshine that we have ahead. So I like that. And then also just kind of some reminders about, oh, I need to start my tomato seeds, or I need to do this. And so it's a good time to start, you know, crossing things off your checklist, but then also just enjoying being in this setting surrounded by other plant enthusiasts.
It's hard to be sad when you're surrounded by plants. So what is the most popular plant selling for you guys right now? What's everybody asking about?
It's funny because I always think, you know, having done this event multiple years, I always think that, you know, we try to have a wide variety because you never know what people have in their collection or what they're missing or what they really, specialize in. So having a little bit of everything is kind of my approach to things, but also just every day is a little bit different crowd. You get some people on the first day where they have the most expansive collections and they're showing me photos from their collections and I'm in awe. But then, you have people that are just starting their plant journey. So a little bit of everything. I mean, some of the aglaonemas I feel like are so versatile. They do well in a range of varieties, and they have a little bit of color and flair to them. Those have been really really kind of popular, I feel like, over the last couple days.
Yeah, any trends you're seeing in general with what people are purchasing just beyond the show?
Yeah, it's kind of, I feel like variegated plants are always, in vogue and really eye-catching just because of the contrast and sort of the, the intricacies, the mystery involved in those. But anthuriums are having a moment. They've been having a moment, but some people are still building confidence and saying, "Oh, okay, I'm not sure," but they're willing to try it out. And so I'm seeing that people are still in love with them and the patterns and the textures and stuff that come with all of those.
I love it. What's the best piece of plant advice you've ever been given? Or best piece of plant advice you would want to give my audience?
Sure. Coming from the Northwest, I just think grow lights. I can't hammer it home enough. And there's so many different ways that you can integrate that into your home, depending if you're living in an apartment or if you're in a place that has lots of windows. It's still just a great way to where you can just set it on a timer and not have to worry that they're getting enough light. And so I cannot stress that enough, how much grow lights really help, especially in the ebbs and flows of the seasons here in the Northwest.
I love that piece of advice. Okay, once again, where can everyone find you if they're in the Seattle area?
In Seattle, we're on First Avenue downtown, and Belltown. First and Bell are kind of the closest cross streets.
And what's your shop's name again?
Urban Jungle Plant Shop.
Urban Jungle Plant Shop in Seattle. All right, thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Maria.
What's the hottest plant flying off your shelves?
This year, our hottest plants are orchid cactus. We have a beaver tail, and we have a fern leaf, and we have a couple other varieties too, and we offer them in 2 sizes.
And these bloom, right?
They do. They take quite a while, but they do have really cool blooms.
Is there a trick to getting them to bloom?
Lots of sunlight.
Okay.
Lots and lots.
Orchid cactus. Yes. Epiphyllum beaver tail. Love it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ben, last year I asked you what the hottest plant was, and you told me it was the Thai pink lipstick, and you made a new plant.
Yes, we went and did a cross between the Thai pink and the tricolor here. We're about 14 months in. From seed generation, lipsticks need to have a year to 2 months, before they will bloom. So we're at 14 months, so we're eagerly waiting to see what this new bloom is going to be.
So this is the mommy, and this is the daddy, and this is the baby?
This is the cross right here. Yes, this is the baby.
How long do you think it'll take for it to bloom to see what it looks like?
We are waiting. We should be somewhere within the next few months. Hopefully, it could be any day to a few more months.
And can someone buy this plant right now?
Absolutely. We just don't know what it looks like. So we've been telling everybody that buys it, if they get a bloom, that we want to see a picture.
That is so cool. So maybe next year I'll come back and you'll be able to show me what the bloom looks like.
That's the hope and goal.
I love it. Thank you.